Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday, the 14th of November. Right, let's get cracking. News first. Well, there is not a lot. um, in general, there's nothing actual scheduled here for Friday the 14th that I can see on my preferred calendar. But we do have some speakers. There's some light news which I don't count. Will have very little impact, but there are some Fed speakers, so the speakers come up on here quite well. But what they're speaking about, goodness knows. But there's a lot of Fed speakers there, so with lots of Fed speakers, there's always the risk and chance that they'll give their opinion to potential interest rates in December. Right, let's look at the technicals then, starting off with the Euro US dollar. And Euro yesterday managed to eventually push up there quite well into its 500 MA in the end then, right into the 4-hourly 500. So this is pushed up half decently this week after a bit of stalling. It's today. Pivots are quite pinched on yesterday. Pinched, large. That's the word. On yesterday's quite move here. Let's just put this back to an hourly. There we go. Thought that looked a bit odd. There we go. So it had quite a solid old move there. We'd seen quite a big move in the morning. Made it not very interesting to me to try and get into trades. We've had a bit of an air kiss there of the daily, or it's probably touched the daily on lots of systems. We've got the potential for the R1. We'll see. It's still got the draw of the quarterly pivot up the top there. Has that quarterly pivot been hit? It has already been hit, but that could be a draw on the bigger scheme of things here. At the moment, it's looking like it's got potential to get up there. A bit slow this morning, first thing. The pound, what a disaster. Coming off this morning, that's been put to the fact that the Chancellor's now talking about not increasing, or there's rumours that they won't be increasing the tax rates, and well, it shows got no idea about what they're doing at all, and the markets don't like it. Now, we did, despite the lack of anything decent there yesterday, we finally saw the pound pushing on there, regardless of the poor data that came out, the GDP data that came out there yesterday. It just shows that the dollar was particularly weak at that stage. However, not so much now, and really I don't like this at all. What I'm seeing here, if we was to see later this morning it start to break down here, I'd possibly look at a go with. The pivots are very wide though, having seen such a big move yesterday relatively. So, but we've got the scope maybe back to the prior lows here. As much as anything, we'll see. It's possibly risk reward wise is not great. Morning guys. Sean, Skeeting. Morning. US dollar yen. US dollar yen yesterday it didn't really do too well against the dollar yesterday. The dollar came off here against it a little, but it's consolidated where it is at the moment. It's a bit of a mess, probably best left. Aussie dollar was the star yesterday in the morning. It didn't hold on to the gains though. We're seeing it roll back here. Looking soft as we go through here. Got scope for further downside. Really not looking particularly strong this morning. We'll see how things develop here. Could be a little triple bottom on this time frame, but the overall picture has given us a lower high and this is suggesting further weakness. Again, it might be something more that we see a bigger move in the afternoon than this morning. Just get rid of this. Just clean my charts up as I go along. US dollar CAD, with the CAD again is softening here. The US dollar pushing up against the CAD. On the picture here, yeah, we could get a bit more of a bounce. I spoke about this yesterday. It's not a good morning trade, and we saw it here. Look, yesterday, in terms of it has this habit of setting something up and turning, and boy did it turn yesterday. Then it had wiped out any of those sort of early trades. It looked good in terms of the overall movement there. It was doing the right sort of things, but it does this in the mornings, and well, probably best left as good as it looks at the moment for that R1. As good as it looks, it's probably well worth waiting for the afternoon effort, late morning, early afternoon, to get trading on it. New Zealand dollar, well, still struggling its way back to its mean regression, really. Left this on there and it seems to be drawing towards it. Ugly scenes though, so let's move away from that. US dollar Swissy, cleaner movement here on the dailies. It's more solid. Yesterday it continued, the Swissy pushing through there. Friday's chill out day. I think you're right. I used to call it "Don't Give It Back Friday," and if you've got some gains this week, I would suggest much the same here at the moment, the way things are looking. So about you guys, I'm off to the gym this morning. I've already decided. Lower highs, lower lows kicking through here. Actually, I'm off training this morning, then off to the gym. So looking soft there completely, with all the lower highs here. Maybe S1 in scope for the dollar Swissy, and if because we haven't seen the pivot hit here at the moment, at least, if this was to be we could get a continuation right the way down to that S2. Maybe quite an asking. Actually, it hasn't moved very many pips at the moment relative to yesterday, so S2 could be on the cards. So all in all, just looking at other markets, the Euro Yen is not sort of doing anything. There's markets I've sort of been watching. Euro Aussie, this is picked up. This is run back into its quarterly pivot on this one. Not looking particularly bright at the moment, is it? So there's a lot of uncertainty still. It really has been a grim old time. Patience is the key thing here. Now gold come off a little bit in the end there yesterday. It's funny, I look through a news service in the mornings here, and it's suggesting how much gold had flown up, and I'm just looking at this, I'm thinking, well, where's it flown up then? Maybe it's picking up on the retracement back up there. It had gone up in there nicely yesterday, but goodness knows where it gets the information from. As I said before, it's probably off a 1 minute chart or something it's looking at, and it's probably AI, and that's why AI is not as good as us at the moment, at least. So higher lows, higher highs coming through here. Don't really like it at the moment in terms of a buy, but there's a suggestion because the interest rates coming down it will go up, but well, the overall drift is there on the 4 hour. It's been a good week in terms of but it pushed largely on Monday, flattened. It's not been the easiest to try and get into for some, I should imagine. Oil, again, it's up 1.6 today. I've read this, it was up a lot more than it was. It had a surge there, but overall picture is still pretty bearish, isn't it? Again, I don't trade this until the afternoons, and even I'm just looking at yesterday afternoon, didn't really do too much, did it? It was very slow. I've just not trading it lately. Something like this, if it's not moving, it's not worth trying. So, bad day yesterday in the office for the S&Ps then. Solid down day there, weak. It's really struggling at this stage. I'm not overly surprised. People cottoning onto the fact that all this, the bubble on the AI side of things, at some stage maybe we'll see it pop. It's just how much impact it'll have. Nobody really knows. Perhaps we should put it in ChatGPT and it'll give us the answer. Yeah, solid down day yesterday. Looks like it's got potential more downside. Yes, I'm sure there's some divergence over this. Just click on it. Yeah, there's some divergence running through over what's there at the moment. To be bullish from that point of view, you'd need to see a break of the high between the two lows. Otherwise, this could just run off back towards these lows over here. Really looking, as I say, it's grim out there. It certainly is weather-wise as well. The FTSE following suit here yesterday, largely selling off through most of the day, and looking like it's going to continue to do so. And the DAX, well, okay, I like the DAX to sell. I like this one better because of the overall picture up here. It's mucky, but it gives nice sell points. This could be interesting. I was still looking at the break of that quarterly pivot, which you see on here as well. A breakdown of that would be quite interesting to me for more downside. There we go. That's pretty much it for me. I don't think I'll be going to be chasing. Well, chasing, I don't chase, but looking for too much this morning in the shape that things are in. So it's another one of those cases of just sitting there. Get down the gym, guys. Get yourself fit. It's raining out there, so don't get washed away. Right, have a great weekend, and I'll catch you on Monday. Take care.